If you're a Christian man who feels alone, isolated, frustrated, angry, and resentful, take a walk with me. I was speaking with a friend yesterday who's a content creator in the masculinity space, and he asked a question. Why do people join the Antares Society and sign up for one on one coaching with me? And for clarity, he also does coaching. The men who seek coaching, while they report a lot of different issues, the primary one is their romantic relationships. The men who are interested in coaching are from all different walks of life, but the ones who actually sign up are usually mid level management and above who make over 200K. And if you're like me, when I first started seeing coaches online, I was like, give me a break, man. I don't need this. It's like, yeah, I get it, dude. You went on hormone replacement therapy, started working out every day, and now you make $10 million a month. Get out of here. As I was going through some of my own challenges, I started paying a little bit more attention to what they were saying, and you can start to read between the lines of what did make them successful. The men I've been working with have spent their lives building businesses, climbing the corporate ladder, and have invested in their career as military or first responders. And they never had a problem until they did. Those problems that seemingly pop up out of nowhere, except they really didn't. Something major happens and there's a shift or a change in your personal life. And all of a sudden, you feel broken. And then you realize that you don't have anybody to turn to. You realize that you have a lot of acquaintances, golfing buddies, but you don't have people that you can rely on at 2 a.m. You have a lot of fair weather friends that are with you only when things are good. As you continue to go through and grow through life, things around you seem to change. People move and you lose contact. And you may send each other messages or call each other once in a while, but for whatever reason, you never take the time and opportunity to actually meet up again. And for many men who feel that way, it's not because they don't want to, it's because they feel like they're being a bother. One of my clients made time this year to go see one of his old military buddies, and he was glad that he did because it became a catalyst for so many other things in his life. For so many of us, we look at coaching in these online communities as grifters. There's a lot of doubt and skepticism, and rightfully so. More often than not, what it comes down to is value of the program and your own self worth. You see, the client that ended up going to see his buddy also went on a vacation by himself and then bought himself workout equipment and things for the house that he never would have spent the money on because he didn't deserve it. And what's really cool for me is that because we had so many different conversations, this person's life is now different. It's changed. And I didn't cause those things to happen. I didn't put these things in motion. He did all the work. All I did was create the container for us to be able to have a conversation so that he could feel supported. And what he also came to figure out is that there is a lot of support in his real life. It's just his perception of being a burden was the barrier to connection. But the question you're really wondering about is romantic relationships. Is my ex coming back? That relationship was filled with uncertainty, insecurity, and doubt, which led to disloyalty. And a common connection with all of that is usually substance use and or a completely different worldview. And the problem is the relationship didn't start out that way. 20 years ago, you were both like, you're hot, let's date. And now you're longing for and trying to get back to this time that no longer exists. And as hard as this is to hear, you both created the environment for that relationship. It's easy to say, it's your fault. You did this. But if you allow yourself to step back, zoom out, and assess the situation for what it really is, you can begin to see your role in that relationship. And within all of that is accountability, acceptance, and forgiveness. And not that you're necessarily forgiving the other person, it's more about forgiving yourself. You didn't know any better, and now you do. You're now able to recognize that at some point you started growing away from each other instead of co creating and having a shared mission and vision for your life together. And even that language just sounds and feels better. You relax, your shoulders drop, and you exhale. You realize that you don't want a relationship filled with criticism and resentment. I know all you can focus on right now is asking yourself the question, how do I get them back? But I want you to really ask yourself, why do you want them back? Is it because you miss them and you love and adore them as a person? Or is it because you feel like you failed and that's a hit to your ego? And if any of this sounds familiar to you, I'm offering 6 months of one-on-one coaching. Go to the link in my bio and fill out the application.